here. We're gonna be working on this Trexas drag slash. Ooh, let me change scenes. Oh, all right, all right. Get my volume up here. Can you guys hear me okay out there? Let me know. I'm sure Jose's gonna be checking in. Hello, hello. Let's do a little sound check. Right. What's up? So we're gonna be working on this Trexas drag slash we got here. We're gonna be putting in a different motor and cleaning it up after a test and tune session. I'll put some music on for you guys like I have been the last couple of times. How was your guys' Christmases? Did you have a good Christmas out there? I sure did. I had a great time with the family. It was a nice holiday. Alright, up first we got Brontosaurus. It's Rock by Topher Morris and Alex Elena. I just realized that is not playing through. Hello, hello, hello. Right, let's try that sound level out. Hopefully that's pretty good out there for you guys. You guys hear me okay? Alright, alright. I know, we always sound funny when we're doing our sound check. Alright, so I did some tests and tunes with this car here. Right now I have, this is a Trexas drag slash with a Nissan GTR body from Protoform or Proline or whatever on here. It was their pre-painted one. And I took it out and did some test runs today at the Walmart parking lot. Definitely, she definitely gained some character today. And got to see what this thing would do a little bit. With this limitations to this Hobbywing Quick Run ESC only being able to put I think 15 degrees of timing into it. So this is definitely the limitation on it, but today it was able to run a 2.75 at 40, I think it was 47 miles an hour. I can actually look it up on my phone. Let's see here. I got down to a 271 at 49 miles an hour. Alright, so I ran a 271 at 49 miles an hour with a $35 Hobby Wing Quick Run ESC and a $40 8.5 turn Rocket brand motor. Censored brushless motor. Alright. That ESC is a Hobby Wing Quick Run 1080. I'm sorry, Hobby Wing Quick Run 10 BL 120. I have a box for one around here somewhere. They're kind of my go-to for the basheries. But part of my plan with this project is to torture test that ESC and see what it actually takes to burn it out. Right now I have that 8.5 turn motor in here, but I also have this guy, a Phantom 4.5 turn. That's what's going to go in it right now. And then for after that, if it lives through that, I'm going to put this Phantom 2 turn in there and see what it'll do. I can't put a tremendous amount of timing into this ESC, so I wasn't really able to push that 8.5 turn as fast as I thought I would be able to. In my Gtr I have an 8.5 turn Z run, but I'm able to put a ton of timing into it. And with this ESC, like I said, I'm limited to about 16 degrees of timing. I also have this Traxxas aluminum steering I'm going to put in the front, just to add a little bit more weight to the front. Because we did put a couple of ounces in the front, and it did help out a lot. As far as the ease of driving this car in a straight line, it was almost to where I could just, as long as you rolled on the gas, because I am still using the SL3 by Spectrum. So it is a non-computer radio. So you still have to be in control of that throttle. Sorry about my messy behind me, guys. Now I'm gonna add a couple of things to this here in the near future too. Probably about the time I get that 2-turn going in it. I have an Exotech front bumper coming for this to hold my GPS unit, my GNSS. And I have an aluminum front bulkhead coming to add, and front bumper mount to add some more weight to this thing. During my test and tune session a couple of days ago, I found that the front body would flex down a lot and hit the ground. towards the end of the run, you'll be able to, once the video comes out, you'll be able to kind of hear that thing chatter as it's going down the road. And here's that weight that we added. It weighs, let's see, how much does that thing weigh? 53 grams. That's 1.89 ounces. And I had just tucked it right in there. And my body foam, my body support foam I had installed was what was keeping that thing in place entirely. So it was captured, but not extremely well. Our music try to stop here. All right. Get my crusty, dusty Ecotech toolkit out here. This battery out of the way. So I got this Gens Ace battery on sale from A-Main Hobbies. They're about 40 bucks right now if you can snag one up. 8mm banana plugs, 6100 milliamp hours, and it's a 130C battery pack. And it's a 2S 2P, I believe. So that means that it has two cells in parallel as well. So far, I haven't been able to get up over 45 with a regular plug on my car, but Grandpa BB has. But he also has a much better ESC in his car. So he's running the Hobby Wing 10, whatever the 10th scale Hobby Wing is, the XE Pro 10 or whatever. Which this car will actually end up with one of those. After this thing gets through the 2-turn, and we see whether or not it lives and whether or not that's actually a viable setup. And it really won't be. It's gonna leave too much up to my hand to be that consistent and accurate. But we'll see. We'll see what it can do with this super budget setup. These two motors that I have here, I got them on clearance from A-Main, and I paid only like 35 bucks each for those as well. But I had one of my Losi 22S, and it was fast. It was scary fast. But we'll see. I am trying to give this thing the best chance it can possibly have of surviving by going ahead and using those big old banana plugs. How's the weather been out there, guys? Out here it was nice and sunny. Super sunny Christmas. It was like 80 degrees outside for Christmas. So this suspension wise, it was actually working really well for pretty much right out of the box, with the exception of 30 weight in the front and whatever I put in the back. I don't remember whether it was 40 or 60. If anybody out there remembers, let me know in the comments so I can maybe make a change there and see how that does. But for now, all I'm going to do is put in the faster motor. All my runs today were on the Proline Reaction blue dots. And then I only pulled 1¼ G's on that run, actually. If that means anything to any of you guys out there, which I know some of you will, and some of you won't. Let's see here. How is this actually attached? Music is done again. What do we got next? Hot Heat from Topher and Alex. It says this is inspirational rock. Let's see. If you guys out there have experience with these little ratcheting screwdriver things, I actually like them. These little cheap sets are so useful. They are crazy useful. So the only reason I'm even putting this steering set in there is because I accidentally ordered the pink one. Otherwise, I had really not had plans to change that out. These drawings off. Well, who's this probably going to turn into? I have something for him. Check in when you get here, Jose. Jose. Take these turnbuckles off the steering. I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to take this motor off of this ESC, which is identical to this other one. Load the same settings into this one as it's in that one. Put Velcro on this one so I can change it out quickly when I'm actually out there doing runs. That way, yeah, that'll save me a lot of drama and grief. What is this? Locally sourced by Jason Frant. Jason Barnhand. And then up next we have Open Highway by Silent Partner. I may actually weigh this servo and see if any of my other servos weigh more than this one, because I'm trying to add weight to the front of this car. So I am about to replace all this steering here. Oh, this sweet peak unit. Huh. Right here. This is the Traxxas Performance aluminum steering setup, and it is on sealed bearings. So hopefully that'll be taking some slop out of that. But really, I'm just looking to add weight. I'm adding weight to the front in a useful fashion. Alright, fellas, I'm back. I'm back. What's up? Did I miss anything? Let's see here. I guess first things first, let's weigh this servo against some other ones, shall we? Get this. I can get this little hawker out of here. Try to get you guys a little better view there of what I'm doing. I'm just unmounting this servo. I'm going to dig through my little collection of servos I have. See if I got something that weighs a little more to go in the front there. Plus, I know I need to get Grandpa BB a servo out of my stash. I know I got a nice heavy one for him. I got to. Might take the one out of the Wendigo. Let's do that first, shall we? I'm curious what happens. Never throw anything away, fellas. It's a shorty. Oh, it feels pretty heavy. All right. So I have a plethora of servos here. Everything from ready to run servos out of cars to super high-end Holmes hobbyist servos. This one's a beast, but this one's gonna go back into Project Big Daddy. That thing's gonna be the next thing I work on up here. I'm not gonna find time for that today, but I'm gonna fix that thing up and make a new series on that one, because I did not do that truck justice on the last couple of videos I made for it. Excuse me. Alright, so to make this fair, we're going to take the servo horn off of this and the linkage here, but I'm going to mark it. Mark this, and I'm not going to turn it. Actually, let's get it unscrewed first in case I turn it on accident. Oh, so there's a crazy blizzard going on in the rest of the country. I find that to be a gnarly thing. It's nice and warm here, but it's supposed to rain here. It's supposed to really rain a lot, I guess. I don't know. Who knows? Some days they say it's gonna be crazy, and then it's just a couple of drops. All right. Oh, that came out very easy. I'm glad I marked that. Alright. This is the Traxxas 2075 ready to run servo out of a drag slash. What we're doing is we're going through my servo collection, and we're going to compare every servo that I have to this servo, see what weighs more, and we're going to put that in because it's a drag car. It doesn't matter how fast it is. Let's see. This Traxxas servo weighs 1.46 ounces. Which is 41.5 grams. We're going to do it in ounces because that sounds less druggy. Anyways. 1.46 ounces. I'm just going to go ahead and tar that. 1.46 ounces. Alright. Up first is the servo I'm probably going to give to Grandpa BB. I'm going to give him both of these. I think these are like $15 on Amazon, maybe $20. It is a SPI or SPT 12 kg car servo. These were freaking awesome. I mean, super awesome in drift cars. They're not too fast, so if you get a squirrely car, sometimes that's worth it. That is 0.17 grams heavier than the stock. You see that? Even this little tiny baby servo. Was 0.17 ounces heavier. 170 milliamp ounces? I don't know. So, it leaves a lot of room to add some weight to it. Being the shorty, in any configuration if you already had a normal size servo there. Up next is my other shorty. Another Amazon special or whatever. It's a K Power digital servo shorty. Oh, we can't use that one. That one's from a Formula 1 car. But even missing that horn, that's still 0.1 ounce heavier than that stock servo. Alright. Let's move on to the full-size servos. And let's start out with ready run servos. Because I feel like those are most likely to be in your toolbox as well. This is a Spectrum S614 servo. It is a metal body servo. Notice it does have brass, a brass little output guy there. And it weighs 0.7 ounces more than the stock ready to run servo out of the drag slash. So that's looking good. I'm going to put that all the way over here to the right because so far it's the heaviest. And then I have the one out of the MST CMX crawler car. And it is the MST Digital SC0252. It has a quite long servo cord there, but it's also got a metal splines on it. And it weighs 0.28 ounce more than that stock one. So it is lighter than that Spectrum by quite a bit. Then I have a Reedy. It is a Reedy 1523. Reedy 1523. Got brass splines. It weighs 0.66 more than the stock servo. Still heavier than that MST, but lighter than that Spectrum. Alright. That's all I got for ready to run servo sitting in my box. So I've got a VTEC 37. This was definitely a $12 servo on Amazon. But you know, probably waterproof. It is 0.91 ounces heavier than that stock servo. Not quite a full ounce, but seems like it's significant. And next up I have another servo that's probably identical. No, actually it's quite a bit different. And it's Seamooing 25 kg. Also $12 Amazon special. It weighs 0.95 ounces heavier than the stock servo. And just for shits and gigs, I'm gonna weigh this Holmes Hobby BLS SHV 500 V3, which is a direct volt drive servo, so you don't have to worry about having a super gnarly BEC in your crawler. This thing weighs a lot. And it is almost a full... It is almost a full 2 ounces heavier than the stock servo. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, actually, I'm quite happy with this servo. It's gonna go on Project Big Daddy. He deserves a big ol' servo with Doom. But what was the heaviest servo here? 0.91 over 0.71 over 0.91. Probably use this one. I had one of these fail on me already, and I don't remember if it's this one or not. I guess I could test it. Works out to be the same spline count. That's super awesome. In case you're wondering, that servo weighs in at 2.41 ounces, and the stock servo weighs in at 1.46 ounces. Bro. Excuse me. Alright, let's get the other stuff together too, and weigh the plastic pieces that I'm replacing with the metal ones and compare those to the metal ones. You know, I don't think on my my desert trucks, my Traxxas slash desert trucks, I don't think that they have steel bearings like this does in the drag slash. That's pretty impressive. Okay. Let's see here. Get those tie rods out of the way. This stock front bell crank steering with the bearings, but not the spacers, because I reckon I'm gonna have to use those on the next piece too, I'm assuming. Weighs in at 0.59 ounces. And this rather good looking Traxxas piece we got here. It is Traxxas part number 3743P. Like I said, I ordered the pink one on accident, so I figured it'd go right in here. We'll leave the screws out because I did not weigh the screws with the last one. Nice. Look at that. Pretty cool big anno. I've still been rearranging my area here, trying to get it perfect. Because I also have a two-year-old, and you know, I have a 2-year-old. 2-year-old's gonna do what a 2-year-old's gonna do. Alright. There's that Traxxas billet steering. Also the steel bearings. Same steel bearings it looks like as this unit. Now, it actually doesn't feel like it's going to weigh anything more. If it's lighter, I'm not even going to bother installing it. So, moment of truth, the stock one weighs in at 0.59 ounces. And the metal one weighs in at 0.59 ounces. Precisely exactly the same as stock. Maybe we need a more accurate measurement. Let's try grams. 16.9 grams versus 17 grams. Shoot. Always exactly the same, guys. Oh, interesting findings there. Let's see. Are there any advantages? Does it feel tighter? More precise? Oh, excuse me. So I am holding one side and wiggling the other to get a feel for how much slop is in that steering linkage there. This is much tighter. I wonder if this has Loctite on it. Well, that feels pretty tight. Well, anytime you have metal to metal, Loctite it. I'm going to pull this out and just validate that it is Loctited. I'm going to go ahead and use this steering is... It was Loctite. So I'll just put a new drop of Loctite on there. Put it back together. And we're going to use it for the sake of it being a slightly bit more precise. But it's no weight advantage. And again, it's not a disadvantage either. I mean, if I wanted to bullshit, I'd say that that's probably better for some reason. Same exact weight. That's funny. What would I say if I wanted to bullshit someone? Let's see. Does it have more slop than this? Oh, that's pretty tight. And it's a servo saver. This is not a servo saver. It's just direct, but that's so tight I can't really see that being an issue, a hindrance. An interesting thing. They actually rub. They rub on the chassis. Just barely. That don't even matter. You know, in a drag car, you just barely turn it. If you have to turn a lot, you either just turn around when it's, and that means precision doesn't matter there, or you're going sideways and you're gonna roll anyways. Yeah. Is the music coming in louder than me? How is that? Is that any better? So let's see here. What can I do here? I think I have to space this up with a washer. I cannot get these bushings back off here. Let's see, did the stock ones do that and I just wasn't unaware? It is separate. I can fix that. With the music. That's a little louder. It's because I have the microphone stationary. I try to keep it a little quieter because it tends to be too loud and kind of gives us distortion. Nope, that stock one clears. Stock one clears pretty good here. So, we'll just put that one right back together. That's okay. Now this piece did break on the on Blue Truck. I know you guys haven't been introduced to Blue Truck yet. But that is my my two Traxxas drag slash, or I'm sorry, my two short course trucks, Blue Truck and Red Truck. That's going to be an upcoming series on my channel. So I guess like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you don't miss those episodes of those trucks. What do we got here? This needs to go back together. Shoot, how was this? Okay, so towards the front goes in, or towards the front goes out. How's this? This one is set, so towards the front will go out. Right? Yes. Where's the front out? Towards the front out. I am working on a Traxxas drag slash that I went and did a test and tune on today. When I got it and took it out with this setup but different gearing in it, the first test and tune, it was running an elapsed time of 2.8 seconds and running 38 miles an hour. And then I re-geared it today and it ran a 2.71 at 48 miles an hour just from changing the gearing. So right now I'm making sure that I have all my turnbuckles, which is this adjustment in the steering and on all of the suspension links, so that when I turn it with a wrench, going forward either makes the wheels go out or in, but the same all the way around. I was whoops. Since this is a drag car, they typically need a little bit of extra weight in the front. So I was going to install this aluminum steering system that I have. But when I got the stock pieces out and weighed them, they weigh exactly the same, and then they actually don't fit as good as the stock plastic pieces, so there's no advantage to it at all. Plastic parts tend to break less, or if they do break, they don't break the piece up upstream as often. So it's not really, plastic's not really a bad thing. I kind of like having plastic. And then one thing that I am also doing is I am replacing the stock servo with this one because this servo weighs quite a bit more than the stock servo. I have to put this back together again. These are the servo screws. That's the steering. You can hear a movie in the background. I have no idea. Oh, it's Zoolander. That Zoolander going off in the background. Come. We got 3 people watching. One of them is my mom. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. I'm on TV. Sort of. One of them's me. Who's that other one? Who else is that out there? Say hello. Check in where you're from. Excuse me. How's the weather been up there? In Washington. Is it snowing outside still? Stopped. Boom. Up next, this is Garage by Topher and Alex. I really gotta get this thing randomized, boy. There it is. Rock. They have this in the under the angry moods category. God knows why. Who knows? Oh, Shift Drift Tandem, what's up, brother? But 5 inches of snow. Where were you again, brother? Man, I love Southern California. Oh, a week ago. You know what? I didn't put it in. No, I kept it out. Shift drift, because it weighs exactly the same. The only reason to put that in there on this drag car was to add some weight to the front. And it weighed the same, so I just left it out because the stock one didn't really have any more slop or anything. But the aluminum one actually ended up dragging on it, so there's no point. I am still going to put these in my stadium trucks, though, because that's an item that ended up breaking on one of those. Get this servo centered here. Radio out. Get the battery out. Which I gotta remember to put all these in a storage mode. It did go on pretty easily, but you do have to space it up a little bit. You can actually see some space underneath. Or when you put the stock steering stuff on there, you can actually, there's some more space above the steering here. So there was room to shim it underneath. But the steering arms actually rubbed on this rib. Just barely. It would have been really easy to shave it off and make it work. But I don't really want to put it on there if it's not going to be an advantage. And I'd rather keep the servo saver because the servo saver is really tight. So there's just no reason to do that swap for this car. I need to center this. But yeah, I'm still definitely going to put them in my stadium trucks. It's pretty tight for an aluminum steering. It was pretty tight, and it's cool looking. But yeah, for this application, just no point. I mean, these things, they go so fast, and when they crash, they're crashing with a lot of impact. So I'd rather break that steering than the chassis, or you know, keep the breakage where it's easier to change, I guess. Right now I am centering, attempting to center this steering over the, now's my chance to do any adjustment here. Actually, that looks perfectly centered. Set that to center. That looks centered. And I say that, I know it sounds weird. Most people wouldn't believe it. But there's two ribs here. Yeah, just line that hole up with those ribs. Line through that V. They might have done that on purpose, actually, so that you have a good visual. Right? So yeah, shift drift tandem. It is balance is important, man. Like, the only reason I'm putting this cheap servo in here, it's not because it's a good servo. It was because it weighed almost an ounce and a half more. But I'll tell you what, Shift, in your drift cars, a really cool thing you can get, and this is industrial stuff here I'm going to teach you. You probably don't even know about it. You can get little magnets that have holes in them. So you can put screws over them, put them over a screw, and then get bulk round magnets. And they stick really, really well to those screws. Now you have a super easily adjustable ballast system. I used to put these under my body mounts, under them. Not on my magnetic mounts, but underneath them or on my chassis, so that I could experiment with different weight biases on the cars. A lot of times I would put them on the front bumpers, on the front bumper, and then on the rear, probably on the shock tower. A lot of times on the shock tower. It's not really about having more weight, it's about having the weight where you want it. But sometimes it is just about having more weight. But the only way to make the friction happen between a tire and the road surface is through weight. Through the transfer of mechanical energy. Gravity is the only thing holding that car down. I guess we can turn that off. Let me get this out of the way too. Alright. What are we doing here? Yeah, it's trying to reattach this front bulkhead now that I have the steering reassembled. Like you guys noticed in the comments, you know, I didn't say it out loud. Just people watching this wouldn't know the difference, but I didn't have any advantage of using the metal over the plastic. And I added this other servo because it weighed more. We already add ballast to the front of these cars, and you know, if you could just use heavier parts and not have to keep adding that weight or having one more sticky mess on your car, or you know, if it needs to be there all the time and live its whole life there, it's kind of nice to have heavier parts where you want that weight. Yeah, well, I mean, we were playing with moving our batteries fore and aft. And if you get too much weight in the back, it just wheelies out of control. It wheelies out of control, and even if you get it perfect so that it does go fairly straight, today I kept drifting off because it was just staying in a wheelie more than half the track, and it was going almost straight, but it, you know, I kept veering off and I couldn't steer it because it was had the front end up in the air just barely. But you know, I did crash because of it a couple of times. This thing's no joke when you crash them too, dude. They're doing like 45 miles an hour. This actually got up to 48 miles an hour today, and if you're not aware of with the drag cars, we run them for 132 feet, which is a 10 scale quarter mile. $132 feet, because a real quarter mile is 1,320 feet. For those of you out there that don't know, if you didn't know. But I'm at my batteries on Velcro, so I can put it wherever I want. Because there probably will be times when the track, who knows, probably not. I was going to say, there's probably times when the track is too cold or there's some variable that needs that battery to come back, but probably not. Probably not. Oh, these drag cars. It's probably just a matter of getting that softest tire on there. But I mean, a harder tire will last longer, so if you don't need that softer tire, you'll get a lot better service interval out of a harder back tire. If you don't need it. So I'm gonna put my twist that I always do on this. You get a long screwdriver. You get a long screwdriver. And you wrap that cord right around it. Remember, the ground goes to the outside. So we're going to wrap it this way. I got to plug that thing in. How does the body last? The body gets all messed up, man. But, you know, the better you drive, the longer they last. It's not like a drift car where you pretty much get infinite life out of the body. There we go. And that is my special trick with the, over this extra cords on the turbos. I don't know if you can see that out there. Back over there. Here's that body, by the way. This is 2 test sessions. It looks like this. Small rotor rash here. Front, shoot up a little bit. Overall, it's holding up pretty good though, but this is being a pretty good car. Traction Slash is working pretty dang good. Especially for guessing on all of the settings. Whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna complain about it. I'm just surprised that's all. But now that I've taken it apart and put it back together again and centered that servo, I'm going to adjust the turnbuckles here to make sure the wheels are facing straight. That body is the Proline Gtr no prep body. It comes pre-painted. But I did add the wing, which is another Proline option, but it's sold separately. It was like an extra $30 for a bang on wing. Alright, Ship Drip Man, you have a good night, brother. You sleep good, my dude. Thanks for stopping in the chat, I appreciate it. Always. Change the motor. So because this is an experiment car, and I'm planning on doing a lot of motor swaps and stuff, I mounted the electronics that are going to get replaced out of it on Velcro. So I could just take it out. Why did I put that train cover back on? Oh, I didn't film a video on it earlier, but I did change the gearing out. All of my test sessions have been on this 8.5 turn rocket motor with fixed timing. I told you guys earlier, but I ran it originally on the 22 tooth pinion. They came with a kit. It would have been, since this was a ready to run kit that somebody stripped down and sold on eBay, it would have been the pinion gear that was installed from the factory on the Traxxas VXL system or whatever they use. This one has this Rocket 8.5 turn motor on it, which I believe is a 40,000 kV setup. And that means 4,400 kV 4,400 kV motor. This is a 4,400 kV motor. And its first couple. Pardon me for a few minutes, guys. Alright, I am back. Because my phone stuff's back. Are you leaving? Alright, Carrie, thanks for stopping in. Mom. Love ya. Mom. You saying goodbye to, or are you just saying goodbye to shit drift? Oh, that doesn't feel good. This too. Oh, geez, it's stuck in there. Alright guys, I'm going to sign off for 15 or 20 minutes. Actually, you know what? I'm done for the night, guys. You guys have a good night. Stay safe out there. Stay warm where it's cold. And be real. Be good to each other.